Holy, their plan is absolutely being revealed. In today's video, we're going to break down how the BRICS countries are working to de-dollarize, and there's rumors that the BRICS countries want to use Bitcoin as a currency. So pay attention. My name is Coach JV. What I do is I work to make the complex simple. My skill set is taking complex structures and breaking them down to simplistic forms so we can understand it at a deep level. We've helped over 6,000 warriors worldwide break free from this just over broke system through our revolutionary 120-day challenge. Another thing, we are now licensed insurance agents. We're helping people with infinity banking concept to protect their wealth as we go into the craziest economic times in the world. So in the description of the video down below, 7 days for free in 2023. I'm also looking for people who are motivated, inspired, who want to become part of my IUL team. We'll help you get licensed, help you understand how to scale businesses in this new amazing economy. All right, so let's dive right into it. So lots of exciting things happening right now. So now this article right here is floating around. This came out on June 21st, 2023. It says BRICS Alliance consider Bitcoin as an alternative to the US dollar. It says BRICS, the powerful group of the world's leading emerging market economies, may be considering adopting BTC as an alternative to USD. BRICS had announced they plan to issue a new global reserve currency. Now, I paused for just a moment when I saw these rumors flying around. I don't see Bitcoin being used as a bridge currency. That doesn't make sense to me. It's more of a store of value like gold or silver, more like a gold, a commodity. And if you look at the CFTC and you type up Bitcoin, you'll see in America it's labeled a commodity. But what this tells us is the narrative is completely flipped from cryptocurrency being a fraud. But let's take a moment. Let's stop for just a moment. Back in 2006, they started talking about the BRICS countries, right? I think it was Goldman Sachs that brought up the BRICS. They gave up the acronym BRICS, which is Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa. By 2009, as the economy came collapsing down and building back up, there was Bitcoin's inception, okay, in 2009. In 2009, the BRICS countries came together: Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa. In 2012, they had the FOMC, sorry with my dyslexia, it's FMOC or FOMC, the Futures Oversight Committee, which Gary Gensler was the start of that as well, where they started to regulate non-bank financial institutions. In 2012, Rosie Rios was told to reduce coin and cash usage, but she couldn't because the Obama rescue plan turned the printing machine on full blast. And when GDP growth goes up, it's hard to reduce coin and cash usage. And Rosie Rios said you need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. As we headed into 2020, we had a shock to the system, which radically changed our financial system, the way we do business, our relationships, how we communicate. Here's a fact. We are heading from industrial to technical. In 2020, we went from Capricorn to Aquarius, which is information, technology, a whole different world. So take a step back, take your emotions out of it, and understand that no matter what they say, there's a transition happening in human consciousness and our financial system. And if you're not ready for this switch, you're going to be on one side of it. You're going to be the working poor or the very, very wealthy. The wealth gap since 1971 has increased dramatically, and it's not going away, family. Jerome Powell said he's worried about the middle class getting wiped out, leveraged towards technology. There's going to be a massive wealth gap. There's going to be the very, very wealthy, and there's going to be the working poor that are taken care of by the government through universal basic income. All this was by design. So all the FUD happening in the markets, you can get emotional about it, but we're calm. We're not tripping. We're buying the dip in, and we're securing our wealth as the profits come in things like insurance, real estate, and businesses. So it says, how long will the dollar last as the world's default currency? The BRICS nations are gathering in South Africa this August with it on the agenda. As we go into September, the from John Deaton, what he shared is in regards to the Ripple case. If the case isn't settled by September, it will go to the appellate court. So the judge will be in front of the appellate court. So think about this for just a moment. For not settling this case within a reasonable amount of time, that does not look favorable on Judge, I think it's Netborn, right? Judge Netborn. So basically, she'll be in front of the appellate court, and it's not going to go past September. If, like, think about that, that's her career on the line. Since 2020, isn't that interesting? The third largest market cap cryptocurrency was deemed a security. And now here we are in 2023 as all the other countries are working to go to distributed ledger technology and create a new currency, an even playing field, a monetary system. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you the BIS media and I'm going to tell you what they're saying. Bank of International Settlements, what they're actually saying, guys. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. It is the future of your monetary system. So South Africa urges careful debate on options of introducing BRICS common currency. Calls them out for alternative to using the dollar for global trade. Dollar will remain dominant for a long time. It will remain dominant for a long time. It's a transition. You can see what's happening with Biden and Hunter Biden and all that stuff. Guys, they're handing the power over. There's a changing world order. We're not going to stop it. So the more chaotic you see it within the current American structure, going from freedom to chaos, guys, they're disconnecting you from your body. They're disconnecting you from your spine. They're disconnecting you from the kundalini within your body. Take it for what it is. If you're religious, then they're disconnecting you from God. If you're spiritual, they're disconnecting you from your Christ consciousness. If you're non-spiritual or non-religious, they're disconnecting you from your body. This is happening right now through the food system, the medical system. There's foods in America. There's foods inside of our chemicals inside of our foods that are illegal in other countries. America's dominance is dying. So don't be on the wrong side of this, family. Understand your power is inside of you. Okay. We have Russia's largest bank to allow retail investors to trade in digital assets. And then I'm going to dive into this here. Okay. So the Bank of International Settlements, this came out 2 days ago. Only 1,300 people have watched this. I'm one of them. So only 1,300 people have watched that. Really think about that, family. Think about that for just a moment. Everybody was watching the billionaires that went, God rest their soul. Everybody's watching those billionaires that went down by the Titanic in 1979. The Titanic went down right before the Great Depression. Let that sink in. Somebody blew my mind in a one-on-one I was doing. The Titanic went down right before the Great Depression. And now 4 billionaires go down right by the Titanic, right during the worst economic times. And I believe the capital markets are going to come collapsing down the back end of the year. And many people have worked their whole lives. Retirement is going to be gone. Just my opinion. Okay, so we're going to listen to what the BIS says. Okay, this is the Bank of International Settlements. This is what they're doing, family. And then I'm going to play a question that was asked, and he's telling you exactly what's happening with the monetary system. Listen in.
To the BIS media briefing on the annual economic report. This briefing focuses on Chapter 3, a blueprint for the financial system, improving the old, enabling the new. Here present to take your questions is Hyun Sung Shin, Economic Advisor and Head of Research at the BIS.
So key, she said, breaking the old and coming into the new. Quantum, industrial to technical.
This chapter is pre-released and will be published at 1300 CEST on the 20th of June, 2023. I hand over now to Hyun to make some opening remarks. Hyun.
Thank you, Jill. Welcome everyone to the briefing for Chapter 3 of the BIS Annual Economic Report, where we lay out a blueprint for the future monetary and financial system that could usher in quite profound changes to what is feasible in many walks of economic life. Let me explain what we have in mind by putting things into a broader context. Now, throughout history, innovations and monetary arrangements have coincided with new types of economic activity that have led to dramatic spurts of growth and development. An important innovation was the advent of money in the form of ledger entries overseen by trusted intermediaries, which allowed new financial instruments that bridged both geographical distance and the timing gap between incurring costs and receiving payment. These were paper ledgers for hundreds of years, but when paper ledgers gave way to electronic record keeping, the gains were more dramatic still. We're arguing that we're on the cusp of a comparable leap in the development of the monetary and financial system as these earlier fundamental advances. As you'll see in the chapter,
so he just breaks down the chapter. Then there was a question that was asked that I want to show you guys and bring this to your attention here. Okay, so then they went into question and answer, and he answers this question, basically giving us the blueprint, as he spoke of what's happening.
Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah, go ahead.
Perfect. I was just trying to understand with respect to the tokenization developments, to what degree does this also include the tokenization of deposits and this idea of eventually banks, being able to differentiate their originated currency from other banks? Because certainly the Bank of England's John Cunliffe has sort of implied that might be one future path, and how likely is that in your worldview?
Well, thank you, Isabella. That's a really a core part of the chapter. As I just explained in the introductory remarks, what we are thinking of in the unified ledger is, first of all, have a wholesale version of CBDCs there to serve as a settlement asset. But the primary means of payment will be tokenized deposits. So these are liabilities of commercial banks and other intermediaries who may be able to issue deposits in tokenized form. The issue is that we would like the system to preserve the singleness of money, which is to say that all the payments, whether it's made using public money or private versions of money, should go through at par. And settlement using central bank money is really the key to that. And this is why we think that tokenized deposits really is much superior to asset-backed stablecoins. And so I think this is where...
So he just goes deeper into it. So it's coming, guys. Tokenized deposits. FedNow Services is not a cryptocurrency, but is 24/7 real-time payments, on-demand liquidity, guys. They're going to tokenize all your deposits, okay? This is the key takeaways. A new type of financial infrastructure, a unified ledger could capture the full benefits of tokenization by combining central bank money, tokenized deposits, and tokenized assets on programmable platforms. Multi-ledger, each with specific use case, might coexist, interlinking by application programming interfaces to ensure interoperability, as well as promote financial inclusion and an even playing field. I've been teaching you the game since 2020. That word, even playing field, keeps coming up. You can dive into all these documents on the BIS. Same thing. This is the blueprint for the future of the monetary system, improving the old and enabling the new. Moving from industrial to technical. The middle class is getting wiped out. Gang building a modernized central bank. This is Japan, I think China, banking system to contribute to Chinese modernization. Family, the switch is here. The new monetary system is here. When the old is dying and the new is coming in, there's often destruction. Where we're heading into in the changing world order by Ray Dalio is we're heading from bad policies, financial decline. Now we're heading into civil war and then global war. The civil war that you're seeing is the left and right getting us to fight, the transgender, pointing out one protected class and making us all fight against them and then fight against us. The arguments back and forth are by design to disconnect us from our body. Whatever religion you are or whatever belief system you are, I love you. I appreciate you. We should understand we're more alike than we are apart. I don't care how you believe in God. What I care is if you're a good person. The golden rule in the Bible is what? Treat others as you want to be treated. If we all did that, all this would stop. If we all fasted every day and maybe did 1 to 2 meals a day, all this would stop. If we all reconnected with our body and understood that the medical system is used for things that are needed within emergencies, and not go to a pill or some type of synthetic drug right away to heal our bodies. Instead, let our bodies naturally heal through the processes. If we understood that exercise and movement is the key factor to getting yourself reconnected to your body, understanding that excessive eating, excessive pornography use, excessive video, anything in excess, even include masturbation, things like that in excess, are disconnecting us from our body. Some people call it the kundalini. Some people call it, the spine. Some people call it, there's so many things happening, guys. There's this thing happening within your body that is constantly moving through. And the more disconnected we are, the more deeper we are down here instead of up here. Remember, when Jesus was crucified, after he rose 3 days later, remember, one person saw him first, and then multiple people saw him. But who saw him? The people that had the mark here. What do you think the mark is? Do your research. Only certain people could see him, feel him, understand him. They were connected to higher consciousness. The people who were closed off, who were standing in line with the tax collectors, who were felt controlled and manipulated kept following the same processes over and over again. This is a critical time in human history. There's a massive awakening happening. You know, the elites call it the Great Reset. The spiritual people call it the Great Awakening. The religious people call it the rapture. The fact is, there's a massive change happening within our ecosystem. There's nothing to fear. This happens over and over again in human history. But the thing you're fighting about and the shit you're pointing out in other people, you're pulling the straw out of their eye when you have a log in your eye. That's why I don't respond to haters and I just say I love you, because I have plenty of stuff that's wrong with me that I'm working on. I'm battling some demons myself. So I pulled the log out of my eye before I ever pull the straw of somebody. I have no right to judge any of you guys. Zero. And I don't have time to judge other people as well, because I'm trying to work to become a better man, to become a better father, to become a better leader for my communities. There is no invisible enemy. There's no reason to go fight against anybody. The battle is against yourself, the mirror. And remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes your unconscious reality. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go. Love you guys.